Take two. Hello, Mrs. Lavery. I'm teaching my brother about tooth development. I have a slideshow that I'm presenting as I record. All right, so tooth development and eruption. Odontogenesis is a fancy word for tooth development, and a dentition means how your tooth naturally sits inside your jaw. There's 3 different types of dentition. There's the primary, which is baby teeth. There's permanent, which is adult teeth, and then the transition dentition is when you have permanent adult teeth and primary baby teeth in your mouth at the same time. There are stages of development: initiation, bud, cap, bell, and maturation stage. And I'm going to tell you about those stages today. So the mandible anterior teeth develop first, and then the maxillary anterior teeth develop second. Mandible is your jaw, your bottom jaw, and then the maxillary is your top jaw. And they develop anteriorly to posteriorly. That's the order that they develop in. The first stage, initiation stage, begins between 6 and 7 weeks of pregnancy. So after mom conceives, the baby is in utero and she's about 6 weeks pregnant. Then dental lamina begins to form. Dental lamina is basically the tissues that start developing the bud, which is the next stage. We haven't gotten there yet. And the embryonic mouth is called the stodium. Okay, it's not called the mouth yet. Say something.
I understand.
Oh.
I'm following.
You sure? You have any questions?
No.
Okay. The bud stage is the second stage, and that starts about 8 weeks of pregnancy. Dental place codes turn into 3-dimensional buds.
What are dimensional buds?
Dental place codes are like placeholders. It's like a group of cells that's sitting inside of like the jaw. And there's 10 in each jaw, because when you're born and you start having teeth, you start growing teeth, the primary dentition only has 10 teeth. It's only when you have your full adult dentition, you have 32 teeth. So in the belly, your baby teeth start to develop, and there's only 10 buds per jaw. So they're like 3-dimensional buds, little tiny like grains of rice, a ball of cells. Okay, so the cap stage is stage 3. It happens between 9 and 10 weeks of pregnancy. And those little 3-dimensional buds start turning into a cap shape. This is what the cap shape looks like. This is the bud, which is like a ball of cells. And then it starts growing fangs and turning into a cap. Okay. Now, this is a tooth germ. It's not called the bud anymore. It's called the tooth germ. And it has the enamel organ, the dental papilla, and the dental sac. 3 different things that we're going to talk about. And the cells are differentiating. Do you know what differentiate means?
They differ?
Yeah. So they all start off as one type of cell, and then they start turning into doing different jobs. Oh, hey, you want to be my friend? Let's go start the dental papilla. Hey, you want to be my friend? Let's go start the enamel organ. And then another group of cells say, hey, we're friends. We're going to start the cap, the sac. So that happens in the 3rd stage, the cap stage. So fun facts about the enamel organ. Hopefully you find them fun. Did you know that enamel is the strongest substance on Earth besides diamonds?
What's enamel again?
The white stuff. This stuff. Enamel.
Your teeth?
No, because the teeth have more than one thing in it. The enamel is the white stuff that you see when you smile. Inside of there's another substance. And then your root isn't made out of enamel. It's made out of something else. Get it? Enamel can withstand 200 pounds of pressure. 200 pounds of pressure.
So you mean to tell me if you put a rock, no. I can stand on somebody's teeth and they won't break?
You weigh no. Yeah, sure. Here, I'll take my tooth out and you can stand on it.
Okay.
Later. All right, did you know that enamel can't grow back? Well, if you chip your tooth like you did when you were little, it won't grow back. You have to go to the dentist and get it fixed. Where they put like fake enamel on and build it up. And like I just said, enamel only covers the top portion of your tooth, the part of the tooth that's in your mouth that you can see. Okay? All right, so then after the enamel organ, we have the dental papilla. And the dental papilla is what produces the dentin and the pulp. Dentin and pulp.
What are those? Dentin and pulp.
Pulp is...
Orange juice?
No, not pulp orange juice. It's like the heart of the tooth. It's the softest part of the tooth. It's the brain. It's what feeds the tooth. When you go and get a root canal done, they take the pulp out because you got a cavity and the cavity is killing the pulp. And the pulp is rotting, and you don't want the pulp to rotten because then your tooth is going to rotten from the inside out. But unlike enamel, dentin can repair itself. You can grow more dentin. There's two types of layers of dentin.
What's dentin?
Dentin is softer than enamel, which is the white stuff, and it protects the pulp. So there's layers. Enamel, dentin, pulp. So yeah, your dentin can grow back. So if you get a cavity and the cavity goes through the enamel, and then it gets to the dentin, but the dentist gets to it, the dentin can possibly grow back. And dentin is a yellowish color. So you know when people say, oh, my teeth are yellow, it's because enamel is transparent and you see the dentin underneath the enamel. That's why your smile is quote unquote yellow.
Wow. I did not know that.
And dentin is the layer underneath enamel. So that's why your teeth look yellow, because your dentin is yellow. But there are stains that get on the enamel that can come off. You just can't take the yellow color of the dentin off. All right. So after the papilla is the sac, the dental sac, which develops the cementum. The cementum is the enamel version of the root. It protects the root part. There's no enamel on your root. There's cementum on your root. And it protects the pulp that's inside the bottom portion of your tooth that nobody can see in your gums. Periodontal ligaments and the alveolar process. You know what that is?
No.
Okay, so the periodontal ligaments is the PDL, and that's like little fibers that are holding your tooth in place so that your tooth doesn't fall out. And the alveolar process is your jaw is like horseshoe shaped, but there's a hole in them for every tooth, right? Those holes are the alveolar process. Oh, look, cementum is material that covers the root. Periodontal ligaments attach the tooth to the jaw, and the alveolar process is the jawbone. I just explained all that to you without even looking at my slideshow. And I created it. All right, so the fourth stage is the Bell stage. It happens between 11 and 12 weeks of pregnancy. And that during that stage, everything just keeps growing and dividing. All the cells are growing and dividing and differentiating, which means doing different jobs. and proliferation, which is pro-life. They are continuing to divide. And morphogenesis is when they're morphing into what their job is going to be. Oh, that's the cells.
Mm-hmm.
There are 4 types of cells that exist in the enamel organ now during the 11th and 12th week, which is the enamel epithelium. What's epithelium?
I forgot.
We studied this. Epithelium is a type of
No idea.
tissue. You helped me study for this.
How do you study? Not me.
Enamel epithelium, stellate stellate
Reticulum?
reticulum,
Thought I was hoping you studied.
stratum intermedium, and then inner enamel epithelium. So now the bud takes on, there was a bud, now it's turning into a bell shape, which is, this was the bud,
Mm-hmm.
now the fangs get pointier.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so this is what the tooth looks like right now, not those two. All right. After the bell stage is the appositional stage. That's the 5th stage. It's when enamel is hardest. What? Then the dentin, and then last is the cementum, from hardest to softest material. And then induction continues, which is introducing, right? Starting something,
Mm-hmm.
the start of something. And this is when enamel, dentin, and cementum are layered on. So the cells are layering on the enamel. That's what they're doing. That's their job. Then the cells that are creating the dentin are now layering the dentin and the cementum. All those 3 cells have 3 different names. Obviously, because they're 3 different types of cells. All right, so maturation stage is the 6th stage, the last stage. And it stops when that type of tissue, whether it's dentin, cementum, or enamel, become their correct mineralization. So when it becomes as hard as enamel is supposed to become, the cells know that's how hard it's supposed to be. So it's working towards that mineralization. The maturation stage ends at different periods depending on what tooth is being formed. And everything is just maturing and growing and getting harder and mineralizing. Why are you staring at it like that?
I'm processing it.
Oh, okay. And that's the end of my slideshow. So what do you think?
I think it's interesting how the teeth grow, develop.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions?
How do your teeth start growing without a jaw?
No, it isn't a jaw. The jaw is your dentition. The jaw at the beginning of my show, I told you.
Your show?
At the beginning of the slideshow. First, the jaw starts. See, it's the initiations when the jaw takes on the horseshoe shape.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
The stodium. That's what a baby's mouth is called in utero. What else? What else do you want to ask me?
I think that's it.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
You have a booger. Is there anything you want to say to Miss Lavery?
I don't know Miss Lavery.
She's cool. She's cool peoples.
My nose feels weird now.
You be alright.
Thanks for watching.
V-dub life. Say it louder.
No,
Say it louder.
that's okay.
Oh, wait, right there. Bike life, he says.